Hey guys, Brendan from TAP. So I just want to share a quick one with you. I'm going into the Repair Solutions VW Golf problem that we've got here today. So it's a 2007 VW Golf BKD engine, a 2-litre diesel. Customer's complaint was it's overheating. I probably got a little bit ahead of myself because when he came in, he said the check engine light's been on for over a year and he doesn't really care about that, but now the thing's overheating, he at least wants to look into that. And I think it's an interesting one that it goes to show, we sort of how two things that seem completely unrelated really can be. So to give you a quick look at the codes that were in there, he did tell me the fuel temperature sensor one's been there for quite a long time, and so he's had the check engine light on, and who knows when the other ones came up, whether they caused the light, you wouldn't know. But obviously, being a cooling issue, we saw that there's a fan circuit code. We went and checked air conditioning on, or no matter what temperature you get to, the fans for the radiator wouldn't turn on. So we decided to go down that route. Now, fast forward a little bit after we test, okay, the fans, don't seem to be the issue. It's saying short circuit to ground. I went and looked through a bit of data. So if you come have a look up here, this is the Haynes data system, and particularly this part here, fuse 24, which is our guy here. Now, there is another set of fuses down the bottom here, some large 50 amp ones and that, and I went and checked one of those because it feeds the radiator fan, and I thought, okay, great, the fuse is fine. But really, I should have gone through and checked all of the fuses as a first thing, and definitely something you do want to include as one of your first checks for any kind of diag, because lo and behold, the intake manifold flap that it was setting a code for is related on the same circuit as the radiator fan control unit, so the actual little module that controls the fans themselves. So coming out here, and if you didn't see it, so the motor for intake manifold flap malfunction, and those fans do have something to do with the same circuit. So when we came down and tested, this fuse here was blown, and that's the one in question. Now I'll show you what happens with this. At the moment, I've got the manifold intake throttle flap, if you want to call it a throttle body, I've got that unplugged, so we can start the car up. Obviously I've got a new fuse in there at the moment, and although you probably won't be able to see, the fans do start and they're running. We've got the air conditioning on, so that's great, they're running. We can take a quick look at the current on that circuit, and at the moment not much current. It's not the actual fans that the current is running through for this circuit, it's just for the control module itself. Now if you focus on that, what I'm going to do is plug in the throttle body. So with that throttle body plugged in, bear in mind that's a 10 amp fuse on that circuit. You can see pretty quickly things got wild and it drew a tremendous amount of current until it finally blew the fuse. Now if I get unplug that again and you just come over here, I'll turn the car off. We were happy with the testing that we'd done, so we concluded that the throttle body itself is what is drawing too much current on that circuit, an internal short in the motor or whatever it may be. If I do the same test, the new fuse in there, we've already got the new part and I'm just about to fit it, but just as a confirmation of our diagnosis, I'm just going to plug it in and hang it off to the side. We'll just leave it sitting there, start the car up. And if we start our scope again now, the throttle body is plugged in at the moment. It's not particularly being used, so I can see that it's just completely open. I imagine once it goes to use the EGR in a bit of time, it will draw some current, but I'm happy. I've got a throttle body that's plugged in now. It's not drawing current, it's not blowing the fuse, and hence I can still hear those cooling fans roaring away. So come up here. So what seems like it couldn't be related, really it is, and always good to take a little step back and have a look, are there any way that these codes, the circuits, could be intertwined? But definitely checking fuses is one of your early checks, because in this case we had an intake manifold intake air valve causing a short circuit, blowing a fuse for a cooling fan, and that's the root cause of this cooling issue. Thanks guys.